Om Sadashivasamārambhām Shankaracharya Madhyamā Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Dear devotees, last class, fourth verse we had finished, and fifth verse just had given the overall meaning. If you remember the earlier classes, we had studied or discussed in the 4 verses the essence of the Advaita Vedanta. What is the essence of the Advaita Vedanta? The nature of the Atman or the Brahman is what? Sat Chit Ananda, and that has been understood by Tat Tvam Masi. So the nature of Atman or the Brahman is Satchitananda, and there is no essential difference between individual self and the Supreme Self. So this is the essence of the Vedanta or Advaita Vedanta. This has been understood or it has been discussed in the first 4 verses. So this actually completes the Vedantic topic in essence. The entire Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, whatever it discusses, everything has been discussed in the nutshell in these 4 verses. Now in the 5th and 6th verse, the Adi Shankaracharya refutes the other's view actually. It is like telling what it is, what is the reality, what is the truth has been explained in the 4 verses. In the 5th and 6th verse, he is refuting what is not true or what is not reality. And there are misconceptions, there are erroneous perceptions given by or concluded by the so-called intelligent people or the wise fool philosophers. So he takes them and he refutes them just in the nutshell. Now this text is meant for Shravana, means it is only for hearing. It is not meant for manana. As a result, he doesn't go and discuss in detail or he doesn't refute, just he mentions. Whereas if you see in the Manosollasa, the Sureshwaracharya, he has written the Vartika on this, glossary on this 10 slokas of the Dakshinamurti, which runs around, I think 120 or 160 slokas it runs. There he discusses in detail his disciple Sureshwaracharya. In other books like Upanishads and all, Shankaracharya has refuted the others' views. Now let us try to understand why Shankaracharya is refuting these philosophies and what he wants to say. Now, and why Shankaracharya is refuting? What is his intention here? Well, from the school of philosophy, to establish a system of philosophy or school of philosophy, you have to establish your own philosophy, and not only that, you have to refute others also. So you have to establish your own philosophy and also provide needed be, you have to refute others' views or others' conclusions or others' philosophies. So now in the first 4 verses, Shankaracharya established his Siddhanta, his philosophy. Now in the 4th and 5th, he is refuting others' philosophies. Now the commentators on this Shankaracharya's Dakshinamurti Stotra, they say that that may be the case. It is out of grievance, out of feeling compassion for his disciples or for the mankind, he is refuting others' philosophy and is warning. So please be aware, don't get carried over. Because some school of philosophies or some arguments, some conclusions may be very interesting, very attractive in nature. So don't get carried over. So in reality, that is not near to the truth. Now, in the deep sleep, what happens? In the deep sleep, actually, there is ignorance. There is a self, of course, no doubt. Self plus ignorance. There is only ignorance, and as a result, there is a bliss. While we are in the deep sleep, there is no problem for us and there is no problem for the world from us also. Now, when the ignorance plus erroneous perception, when it gets added, then only the real problem starts. Now, when we say, I have a body, I may say, but I behave, I am the body. So there is an ignorance plus erroneous perception. As a result, I am having a problem. I have got a headache. Fine. I have got a headache and I'm really perturbed by that. By this time, you should be able to understand that it should not be the case. Why? Who has got headache? I have got headache. Who has got headache? I have got headache. Who has got headache? My body has got headache. I don't have got headache because I am the self. The self doesn't have headache. Body has the headache. But I am behaving as if I have got the headache. This is what we mean problem. So it is a ignorance plus erroneous perception. Now, in the erroneous perception, there are two types of erroneous perception. One is the ignorance erroneous perception. They don't think actually. As a result, there are errors in their perceptions. And the other is because of the wrong thinking, the errors can happen. They are called like wise fools. They are called wise fools. Now we are discussing about this wise fools nature, or the wise people's foolishness has been discussed philosophically. So now he lists out 4 or 5 people. One is the Charvaka, that is materialistic people who says that body itself is the self. And the second group of people, he mentions that there are people who says that self is nothing but prana, or the energy. And the third one, he refutes actually Yogachara or Vijnanavada. That is a school of philosophy in the Mahayana Buddhism, who says that the self is flow of consciousness. And the fourth is Shunyavada, Madhyamika school or Shunyavada. Again, it is another school of Mahayana Buddhism. So he takes these 4 and he says that none of them are true. Now, let us go in little deeply. Now I will take each one and I will just try to mention and I will go further. Now, I told error can happen 2 times, in 2 cases. One is from non-thinking person, the other is a wise foolish person. In a non-thinking person, what happens? A layman, he doesn't think actually. For an example, I am getting problem time and again. The same problem is happening in my life, but I don't think, why is it happening? Or by doing what, I can stop this problem. I can stop this issue. We don't think. We keep suffering and we may say that, oh, this is what the life is. Oh, this is my fate. Or this is God's will. So without thinking, without analyzing, we get into problem and we keep on facing that problem. We keep on making the same mistake time and again. The standard example gives in the scriptures is, for an example, in the olden days, if you have observed, the door's frame used to be very short actually. As a result, you have to bend your head and you have to go. Now the layman, because of the absent-mindedness or because of the lack of alertness, he goes and he gets hit to the door frame because he forgot to bend his head. So he didn't think and he got it hit. And a couple of times, several of times, he might have got this experience. Now, another person who is very intelligent, is very wise man, and is aware, and by seeing from distance, he came to know that, or is aware, or he has been informed that there is a low wooden frame, low door frame, so you have to bend your head and you have to go. Otherwise, you will have a bang. Then, since he is aware, from little distance itself, maybe 5 or 10 meters or 15 meters, he bent his head and he started moving. He took all caution, no doubt, but unfortunately, when the door frame came, he thought he has crossed it, or because of foolishness or whatever, he raised his head and he got the wooden frame. Till going to the wooden frame, he had bent his head, but at the while crossing the wooden frame of the door, he lifted his head and he got the bang, or his head got hit. So this is what the example given in the scriptures, like a layman's ignorance and the wise fool's ignorance. Okay, now who are these wise fools? One is materialistic people, and the other is been different people altogether. All schools of philosophy has been, we can list out, that is Charvakas, Jainas, Bauddhas, Nyayikas, Vaisheshikas, Sankhya, Yoga, Purvamimamsa. All these are they have got a wrong perception, erroneous perception, or misperception. Okay, now we will go in giving this background. Let us go to the sloka. Now, if you see in the sloka, there is at the in the sloka first line, viduḥ is there. Last word of the first line, viduḥ. Viduḥ means wise people. Okay. The wise people are thinking. So there are different type of wise people. First category of wise people, they are thinking, aham dēhaṃ iti. So the aham is in the second line actually. So aham has to be supplied to the first line now. Aham dēhaṃ iti. I am the body. So they are thinking that I am the body. Now, I am the body, we all think, no doubt we also behave that. I am the body means what? They are called charvakas, materialistic, and the other lokaidikas also are called. So there is no question of self, there is no question of heaven or hell, there is no God, there is nothing suprasensual thing and all. So the body alone is real. And when we born, that means there is a self which is nothing but body. And when we die, we don't survive. When after death, there is nothing survives. As a result, during your birth and death, enjoy your life. This is what materialistic people they say. I mean, they give a different arguments. Just one or two I may give you just for your understanding. They say that because the body is seen very clearly, and it is growing, it has got changes, and it is feeling the pain, it is feeling the all type of experiences and all. So which is full of consciousness, which is full of awareness. As a result, this is the body, this is nothing but the self. And when I die, the person is died, and we don't see anything else after his death. As a result, there is nothing so-called self. And even the God created this world, Ishvara created this world, it is not possible to accept. Even there is a afterworld where you are based on your punya and papa, you will go to heaven or hell. No one has seen that. If someone has gone there, they have not come back and they have not certified it. Hence, there is no such things, heaven and hell or Ishvara and all. It is a useless talk. Nahi khalu Ishvaraha karta paraloka katha vrutha. There is no creator God called Ishvara, and there is no afterworlds, which is all utterly useless and meaningless. And they also say, if Atman exists independent of the body, it should be seen, it should be perceived, just like a pot, like the wall, like a thing we see, isn't it? But we don't see it. We can't show it for anyone. So hence it is as good as it is not there. And this body is experiencing every emotions and different type of experience and etc. That's the reason body alone exists, and there is nothing called self, which is different from the body. And also they give one more interesting argument. When our elders bless, what they say? Aishman Bhava, Shatayushi Bhava. You may live 100 years. So when our elders, they bless us 100 years. Of course, in this present day, if we bless anyone live 100 years, then they say, Swamiji, why are you cursing us? They don't want to live 100 years. Anyhow, so when we say you live 100 years, that means it is for body. It is not for the self, isn't it? So if that is so, then how can you say that there is a self which is distinct from the body? So the body is the self. So like this, there are few arguments which has been put forth by, interestingly, materialistics. people, that is Charvakas. Now, the second category of the people, they say, aham prāṇah iti. So they are also wise people. They argue that I am the prana. Prana you can think like as an I am the energy. And what they say, I am breathing. And if my breath stops, I am dead. The moment I am taken birth onwards, or even from the mother's womb, I am breathing. And when I stop my breathing, that means he or she is dead. So as a result, the prana is very important. Prana is the self. And I am thirsty, I am hungry, I am energetic, I am weak. All these things we keep saying. Not only that, we keep experiencing it. That is all because of the variations of the prana, variations of our own energy. As a result, prana is what the Atman, or Atman is prana. If I stop breathing, I am dead as a result. So anatomy is not the individual, physiology is the individual. So these are the few people who argue. Now, before going to the next one, you may get a question. Swamiji, all this fine, but why should we think about all these things? Now, we all know that what is the reality? The consciousness is the reality. I am that self, Satchitananda. Why should we discuss all these things? Or because Shankaracharya has told, should we discuss? Or just you can mention and go away, go further. Why you want to discuss all these things and why should we hear all these things? Now you may say, oh, there were philosophical fights, philosophical debates in the earlier times. I don't think now we have got anything and there are hardly people, even they read philosophies, then why should we have it? Well, so whether other schools of philosophies are there or not, whether anyone is practicing or not, whether we may have to debate with such people or not, but these type of ideas might be there in our own mind. I might have come to study Advaita Vedanta, but I may be feeling that why can't then prana can be an Atman? Why can't be body cannot be Atman? Mind is so important. Yad bhavam tad bhavati, we say. As you think, so I become. Mind is very important, we say. Then why mind cannot be Atman? Which like in the materialistic science, they always confuse with the reflected consciousness, Chidabhasa, with the original consciousness, which Advaita Vedanta Upanishad is speaking. So like that, we might have these problems. Or among ourselves, we might have different type of intellectual journey. So all these intellectual knots, intellectual doubts will be getting cleared when we read this. If someone asks, or if ourselves we get some time, a question, why can't prana is such an important thing? Why can't prana be Atman? Or why can't we call mind as an Atman? This question may come. So when we read all these things, it gets very clarity, very clear understanding for us why the Atman is only Atman or Atman is the only reality, why not any other things. Okay. Now, the third category of people is aham indriyāṇi iti. Viduḥ aham indriyāṇi iti manyate. So some of the wise people, some wise people are thinking that I am the sense organs. Here I means self. The Atman or the self is what? Sense organs. Because all our knowledge we get through sense organs. And all our play, all seeing, hearing, touch, taste, everything is what? Sense organs. Without sense organs, we don't get any knowledge. We don't get any experience. Isn't it? As a result, the indriyas is the self actually. In dead person, sense organs do not function and Atman doesn't get any experience. Isn't it? Or a person doesn't get any experience. As a result, we can say Atman is the indriyas. Basically, he's giving a very overall picture here. He's not going to any particular school of philosophy. Now, the fourth, aham chalāṃ buddhihi iti manyate. Some wise people say that I am the flow of consciousness. So this is Yogāchara Vijñānavāda. It's a one school called either it's called Yogāchara or Vijñānavāda. Now, for them, according to them, consciousness is the self, no doubt. When the consciousness is the self, immediately you may say, oh, they are very dear to us. They are very near to us. Oh, they are thinking like Vedantins only. That means, Swamiji, you may say, but hold on, there is small difference. Or there's a huge difference, but still, for even at superficial level, there is a difference. What is that? They say consciousness is the self, no doubt, but that consciousness is subject to fluctuations. Consciousness is not constant for them. Consciousness is subject to fluctuations. And they give an example like a water or a river. You go and you test the water in the river, okay? You test the particle A in the particle A, the water droplets A in the river, okay? After even few seconds, if you touch at the same place, after 5 seconds or 10 seconds, do you touch the same water? You say yes, because I'm touching the same Ganges river, isn't it? So it is same. But if you think deeply, it is not so. The particle which you test, and that particle has flown further, and it has particle A has crossed over. Now it is maybe D or E or F or G. So we don't touch the same water particle time and again in the flow of river, which we can understand very well. But it appears that it is the same water or it is the same river. It appears that it is not so. There is a flow of water continuously. Similarly, the flow of consciousness also continuously flowing, and it is like every single particle, very minute microscopic particle, which is placed one after another so closely, we don't understand that series. We don't understand the chain of consciousness particles. It looks like that there's a continuous stream or there's only one consciousness, but in reality, it is not so. That's what they argue. So it is a continuous existence maybe, but it is a changing entity. It comes and it goes. It is a flow. There's a flow of consciousness. That is what the Yogachara Vijnanavada says. And one more school of Buddha school, Buddhism, is Shunyavada Madhyamika. They say, Aham Shunyam iti manyate. Oh, no, none of them are true. I know that. What is reality? I am that emptiness, void, shunya. They give an example of the deep sleep. In the deep sleep, what happens? I am not the experiencer because I am not experiencing about myself. I am not experiencing the sleep. I am not experiencing the joy, which when we get up, we feel. We don't experience that even the joy of sleep. Rare, I am not disturbed even. Isn't it? So there is complete blankness. There is complete empty. There is complete void, shunya. As a result, the self is what? Śūnyaṃ. The self is blank. And they give, this is one standard example they take of deep sleep, sushupti, and they give example. The other, one more example they give is, okay, because the consciousness is a continuous stream of particles, and one consciousness particle has come and has left. Now, another conscious particle has come, it has arrived, no doubt. How much ever it is microscopic and how much ever it is immediate, but still there can be a fraction of second in between there is not there, which is not there. Or there can be a fraction of millisecond, or 1/100th of a second, or 1,000th of a second, 1/10,000th of a second, isn't it? That gap is there. That gap shows what? Emptiness. That is the reality. And that is what the Atman or Brahman, what you are saying, that Atman or Brahman is what? Void, emptiness, blankness. That's where in some of the meditation techniques, in the Buddhist meditation techniques, they try to experience that voidness, blankness, or whatever, because that has come from the Sankhya. Yogaschittavati Nirodha. Nirodha means what? Completely, suppressing all the fluctuations or suppressing all the thoughts. When all thoughts are suppressed, what happens? Then your mind becomes dormant, your mind becomes inactive, your mind ceases to exist. When there is no mind, then there is no experience of duality. Then your Purusha and Prakriti, Bheda Gnana happens. That's how we get Samadhi or the Mukti. So from that, actually, all these things have come. So Buddhism is an offshoot of Sankhya, we can say. Okay, so these are the things which has been told. Now, if you see the shloka, Aham viduḥ or viduḥ dēhaṃ iti manyate. Viduḥ aham dēhaṃ iti manyate. There are different type of wise people who are thinking aham dēhaṃ iti manyate. I am the body, or self is the body. Aham prāṇam iti manyate. Self is the prana. Aham api indriyāṇi. I am sense organs, or I mean self. Aham chalāṃ buddhiṃ. I am the continuous flow of consciousness. Aham śūnyaṃ iti manyate. Some consider that I am the śūnya, I am the void. Okay. Now, 4 type of intellectual deficiencies has been listed by Adi Shankaracharya. When you go deeply into all this only, you will understand. Otherwise, you will not get all these things. So what are them? So as a symbolic representation he has taken, we should not take them literally. Otherwise, we may get distracted. Strī, bālāndha, then jaḍa. So there are people who gives bhrāntābhṛśaṃ. Bhrāntābhṛśaṃ means they argue, they are erroneous, they have got erroneous perception, they have got a wrong understanding about the truth, they have got the delusive perception, but at the same time they argue that my understanding is the right understanding. And he is giving why that right and wrong understanding is happening, why there is an erroneous perception. If you say, he is giving 4 type of intellectual deficiencies, and for 4 type of intellectual deficiencies, he is giving symbolically 4 type of people. One is strī, woman. So the second is bāla, children. The third is andha, ignorant, blind, and the 4th is jaḍa, or dull-headed. Now, again and again, I'm telling you, when you say strī, please don't take it personally. Please don't take it literally. Oh, Adi Shankaracharya has criticized women. No. So Hinduism, Vedanta, our Indian scriptures have criticized women. No. So we should not take it literally. So what he is telling, so he is giving 4 type of intellects, or intellectual deficiencies. Very interesting. Every one of us, we have got all these, or some less, some are more actually. What are the 4? This woman here, she is representing here unreleased intellect. Let me discuss in detail. Unreleased intellect. The woman is representing here unreleased intellect. It can happen in either the woman or in the men also. Now the children, or the bāla, is representing the undeveloped intellect. Unreleased intellect, now undeveloped intellect. Andha, ignorant, or a blind. Blind is not physical blindness, I'm saying. Intellectually blind is unaided intellect. And the 4th is jaḍa, dull-headed. He has got obstructed or retarded intellect. Now let me go into deep things. Now, unreleased intellect. What do you mean by unreleased intellect? Here, they are emotionally dominated personalities. They don't think, no rationality, or hardly they use their rationality, hardly they do the thinking. They're emotional people. For example, when there's a cricket match or some cricket person is coming, immediately people go and they jump and they do stampede and they try to see people. Emotionally carried out. They don't think what is possible, what is right, what is wrong, or whatever. In our life also we see that. When someone is scolded or especially during the death, I've seen quite a few people, they cry. Oh my God, if you probably keep a container, probably a few buckets, it might fill. So much they cry. Okay, I appreciate their feelings for the dead person. I appreciate their love for the dead person. I'm not denying that it should not be done, or it is right or wrong. I'm not judgmental. But once the person is been either cremated or burnt, in no time already there will be fight because of the property or because of some small petty issues. For hours together you cried because you lost your dear ones, and once the body has been cremated, when the body is cremated or buried, immediately there will be huge war for the property or for some ego issue or for some petty things or whatever. This is what I mean. One of the simple example for the emotional thing. So Manomaya Kosha is dominating here on Vijnanamaya Kosha. So emotions are all very important for us. We are all emotional beings generally. Emotions are very important. No doubt it is required. Otherwise, we'll become like a rocks. I mean, like a stone actually. But it is a great energy even. But it has to be channelized properly. Most of our problems is either emotional problems or ego problems. When we are in spiritual field or spiritual practice, when we are started as a spiritual aspirant, whatever problem comes, we think that it is a spiritual problem. No, for most of us, we have not started any spiritual problem at all. It is for emotional problem, interpersonal relationship problem, or adjustment problem. That is what I mean, ego problem. So most of the problems are emotional problems. Because of this emotional mindset, like a cloud covers the sun, it covers our mind, our rationality, rational thinking. As a result, we don't understand what is right and what is wrong. How should I do? When should I do? Whether should I do or not? How should I speak? Nothing we think, and we very, bluntly we behave. We might do perform actions, and we do burn our hands. We might get accidents. Like for example, in the Gita, Krishna says, Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammuda cheta. Tvam dharma sammuda cheta. I am been confused. What is right and what is dharma sammuda cheta? Why? Karpanya dosho apahata svabha. With this weak faint-heartedness and I am besieged with anxiety. Anxiety, I am confused about what is right and what is wrong. So this is what we mean, emotional personality, emotional dominated personality. And so emotional stability, emotional maturity is very, very important. By doing japa, by doing prayers, by doing meditation, by doing bhajans, kirtans, we can get emotional stability. Our emotions gets little purified, no doubt. With that, our intellectual thinking, rational thinking also has to be supplied. So this is what I mean, unreleased intellect. Many times I've seen sometimes, oh Swamiji, how are you? Fine. Please come to our house to food. Okay, fine. I went and they're feeding us. Okay. So I said, enough, thank you. Said, oh Swamiji, only this much. Please eat little more. Okay. Little more, little more. I used the word, on the funny side, love revenge. In the love, they take a revenge on us. Means they pour so much food or they feed so much, it can create a problem. With all due respect, devotees with all due respect, they take care of us, no doubt, but one should be careful enough also. One of the monk taught me, senior monk, when you are serving someone, you should try to understand what he or she wishes, what he or she likes, what he or she wants or doesn't want. So whatever you like, you can't force your liking on someone. Because I like mango, I can't force mango for everyone. Or I like jackfruit, I can't force jackfruit to eat for everyone. Or like I like chocolate ice cream, I can't force everyone to eat chocolate ice cream. So everyone's desires, everyone's likings, and everyone's nature, either physical nature or likings will be different. We have to understand. But when we are emotionally charged, we don't understand. We think that we are with so much love and care, we are serving people, we are helping people, but in fact, we will be troubling people also. So this is called unreleased intellect. So this is one type of deficiency. And the second type of deficiency is what? Undeveloped intellect. That is with the example of child. Means immature. Means because physically is not grown, biologically I am not grown. For the child, the intellect is also not fully grown. That we can see. For in some people, physically they are grown, but intellectually they are not grown. This is the difference between child and childish. Sri Ramakrishna has said, be childlike. Means you should have that innocence, childlike innocence one should have. When we are grown up, if we are behaving like a child, that means it is nothing but childish. We should be childlike, no doubt. Even after growing up, we can be childlike with that innocence, no doubt, but we can't be childish. So this is what immature intellect is, like a childishness. And the scripture says, because of the lack of sadhana chatushtaya sampannata, the four prerequisites, which is the lack of that, lack of mental discipline, lack of mind control, and lack of proper understanding and whatnot. Because of this, immature intellect can come in. So because of that, what is right and what is wrong, I don't understand. And not only that, I might understand the wrong as a right, and I might do things, and I may get into problem. I may burn my hands. I may meet with several accidents. When I say accident, is not always a car accident or physical accident. It means some problems, getting into unnecessary issues or whatever. And parikshalokan, for example, in the Kathopanishad we see parikshalokan is not being done enough. The nature of the world, the nature of the people, the nature of the things has not been examined properly from such and such a person. As a result, he or she is getting confused. He or she is getting baffled. He or she is getting into problem time and again. I thought he is mine here once, but he cheated me. She cheated me. Okay, once it happened, anyone can understand. Time and again, we are getting into that problem. That means there is no rational mindset. There is no analysis. So my mind has been colored by my likings and dislikes. Either it is an emotionally dominated person or otherwise it is not rational minded, immature. So this is what we mean undeveloped intellect. And the third type of intellect is what? The third is andha, that is a blind. It is not physical blindness. It is blinded by the wrong thinking. So misguided intellect. He thinks no doubt, but he thinks wrongly. The standard example in the scriptures we can find is a person, he was left alone in the forest. He thought, okay, now since I'm left alone in the forest, anyhow, I have to come out from the forest and have to take I have to somehow come to the main road, and through that I can reach my city or village. No, he's going and he's walking, no doubt. But unfortunately, he's walking in the opposite direction, by which, if he continues, he will be going into the middle of the jungle or the dense in the inside of the jungle. He will not be getting out from the jungle. So this is called misguided intellect. So rational mind is there. Some thinking is there, no doubt, but it is eclipsed by pseudo ego or unripened ego. Oh, I know everything, and I don't want to hear anything from others. I don't have an open mind. I don't give space for people to express their views. And I don't have a space with myself to understand, to analyze my understanding whether it's right or wrong. Such type of my intellect, such type of natured people is called misguided intellect. So basically, they have got a closed mind because of the ostentative nature. That is because of the darpa. I am right. I am always right. I know anything and everything. I need not to hear from anyone. So no open mind for learning. That is why it's called andha, ignorant. Means there is no scope for the understanding or improvisation. So our understanding should be supported by the scriptures and experience. I've seen a couple of people recently when I visited US. There I saw his so-called devotee. He was gone arguing with unnecessary things and all. He was telling the center should be like this, monk should be like this and all. He was telling that, and he was behaving such foolishly. For example, I can say that one example I can give. He went with the shorts. And the Swami said, oh, you are not supposed to come with the shorts to the ashram. Oh, I didn't know that. You should have told me. I said, fine, my dear, you are coming first time. But it is already the dress code has been put in the website, no doubt. Oh, who sees your website? I have not seen your website. I don't bother to see your website. They said, fine, but please, because there is a function, there are a lot of people, so it is better not to come or better to avoid next time onwards. When the Swami said, oh, no, it is a Sri Ramakrishna's ashram or Sri Ramakrishna's house. I don't care. I will come. So he dashed him and he went inside. So he is a very intellectual person. He has read a lot of books, no doubt, but he was behaving foolishly. And he said, how Swami can say me like this? What dress I should wear? How can he say that? So basically, he doesn't have that common sense that a place has got a code of dress code. So one should, whether I like it or not, when I am going to that place, if there is a dress code, I am supposed to follow. So he's speaking big things. He's speaking all the highest philosophies, but he's behaving foolishly. I mean, when I was hearing, I was getting astonished how a person can speak such high things and behave such foolishness or foolishly. So this is what I mean misguided intellect. We speak highest Vedanta, and in our actions, we behave very foolishly. We behave most materialistically or mean-minded, whatever. So that type of people are called misguided intellect. With a lot of ego, they will think that they know anything and everything, and they don't discuss, they don't want to hear, they don't want to learn, and rather they want to show what they are, and they will be doing the same mistake time and again. That's where Adi Shankaracharya says, Shastra Acharya Samskruta Antakaranam Gnane Karanam. What is the right instrument for the self-knowledge, if you ask? Whose mind has been purified by the Shastra? Shastras means scriptures. Here Vedanta, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita. Whose mind is refined by practicing the teachings prescribed by the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, or the teachings of holy people, saints. Then Acharya, who has refined himself, who has cleansed his mind, his personality, his wrong understandings from the Acharya, that is from the Guru, from the teacher's teachings. His intellect is called, his mind is refined intellect. Samskruta antakaranam, refined mind, refined intellect. Such person's mind is capable for or eligible for the self-knowledge. So we need a refined intellect. But this person's intellect is unaided intellect because of the ego. And the fourth type of intellectual deficiency is called jada. What is that? Retarded or obstructed intellect. He's physically grown, but there may be mentally retarded. There is a physically disabled person, physically challenged person, we say, especially abled person we speak in the present day. So there is a problem in him. As a result, he is unable to understand what is right and what is wrong. So there can be physical problems also, biological problems also, or whatever. Now, okay. After this, now 4 types of intellectual deficiencies we have discussed now. Now, interestingly, and these type of people are called bhrāntābhṛśaṃ vādinaḥ. So bhrāntavādinaḥ. So they keep on, discussing they assert their points, which is completely wrong, deluded, wrong perceptions. Then the question may come, why is it happening? What is the reason for this erroneous perception? What is the reason for the wrong perception? Because the truth is so simple. I am that self, Atman, Atman or Brahman, which is called Sat Chit Ananda, which has been told by Upanishads very clearly. So the truth is simple and straightforward. Why people are thinking wrongly? And even in our case, the truth is so simple, but we are unable to understand. Even if you understand, we are unable to put into practice. We are unable to assimilate this simple truth. Why is it? For that, the Adi Shankaracharya beautifully explains in the 3rd line. This is one of my favorite verses actually in the Dakshiṇāmurti. māyāśakti vilāsakalpita mahāvyāmōha saṃhāriṇē. Saṃhāriṇē is a guru actually. It is adjective for guru. Now before that, from left to right, like Arabic people, let us read. Now saṃhāri. Saṃhāriṇē is actually there. It is for saṃhāri. Saṃhāri means a destroyer. It is Chaturthi Vibhakti, 4th case. So saṃhāriṇē means is the destroyer. Who is the destroyer? The Guru is the destroyer. Here Dakshinamurti, gurumūrtayē, Dakshinamurti is the destroyer. Okay. So either our teachers or the Dakshinamurti is the Guru of gurus, teacher of teachers. He is the destroyer. Okay. He is destroying what? Here, vyāmōha. So, he is vyāmōha saṃhāriṇē. He is the destroyer of the confusion. He is the destroyer of the delusion. What type of delusion? because we thought the particular city is 100 kilometers. Then afterwards you came to know that, oh, no, it is not 100 kilometers. It is a 200 kilometers or it is 300 kilometers. This, again, there was a wrong understanding. There was an ignorance. So is that has been removed here? No. Here the confusions about our real nature. I am the body, I am the prana, I am the mind, I am the intellect, I am the flow of consciousness, or I am the void or blank. So there are so much ignorance about oneself, or the ignorance of one's own real nature. So that removal, so the removal of confusion or delusion, which is pertaining to self-nature. Okay, I mean, interestingly, you can say, first tragedy is what? Because I didn't know who am I, or my real nature I have forgotten, as a result I have taken birth. Now I have led my life 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 120 or whatever. I had so many years I've led life. And if I don't understand, even now, if I don't realize, and if I die, there will be second tragedy in my life. First tragedy is already I have taken birth without knowing who am I. And if I die, again, it will be second tragedy without knowing who am I. So we have to be very careful. Okay, so Vyamoha. And the confusion is okay. This is mahāvyāmōha, it seems. It is a great confusion, extraordinary confusion, huge and intense in nature. For example, I can say Tair and more. In Tamil, Tair and more. In Tamil, Tair means actually curd and more means buttermilk. Somehow I get always confused, Tair and more. If I sit simply close my eyes and sit just for 2-3 minutes calmly, and if I try to find out, I will be able to. Otherwise, generally, if someone says, Tair kodungu, if someone asks, give the curd, I will get confused. So this is an ordinary confusion, and it is related only to me. For others, Tair and more, there may not be confusion. So every one of us, we will have some confusion with these words actually. So this is an individual confusion. It is a little confusion. Probably time and again, if I keep on telling that Tair means curd, Tair means yogurt, Tair means curd, Tair means curd, probably it may go off. So that is only individualistic, and it may be there for some time, and it may not be with everyone. So this is an individual confusion, and it may be little time, whatever. And there can be confusion about a country for so many people. When I was coming to the Ireland from India, many people had said, Swamiji, what is the temperature there? Do you get food there? And do you get Indian food there? Do you get that? Do you get this? And what is the temperature? They keep on asking. They were keep on asking after my coming for a few days. So they had ignorance about the weather and the food condition, time and all about the Ireland. That is for a few people. Again, it is not for everyone, because through Google and ChatGPT today we can also know so many things, whatever it may be. That is maybe for a few more people, but it is not again universal. Now we are mahāvyāmōha means it is a huge, extraordinary confusion. It is a universal confusion. Every one of us, we are thinking either I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, or I am the thought, or I am the emotion. I am thinking or I am behaving like that. So this is the extraordinary confusion. Why? It is anadi. It is beginningless. I don't know from since how many births I have got this confusion. And I do not know when will this end, this confusion in my life at least. And it is not only with me this problem. There are hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people with this confusion. Eternally this confusion is continuing. That is why it is mahāvyāmōha, extraordinary confusion, extraordinary delusion. Okay. Then, so time-wise, space-wise and all. Okay. Now, okay, how this confusion came actually? How this confusion started actually? If you ask, kalpitam, it is created by, or it is caused by. Okay. Who created this? For example, who created Apple iPhone? The Apple iPhone manufacturer, the owner, we will say, CEO, we can say. Or who did that? Oh, Apple employees, we can say. And if you show a house, and who did this? You can say the owner name, or you can say the builder's name, whatever. Now like this mahāvyāmōha, who created this mahāvyāmōha? Extraordinary delusion, extraordinary confusion. Who created it? If you ask, who created this? Who caused this? If you ask, vilāsa. Vilāsa means, vilāsa has got two meanings. One is sport or play. Oh, it is all Bhagavan's Leela. We keep saying that. Ella Bhagavantane Leela ivella. In Kannada we keep saying. So sabka Bhagavan ka leela hai. So that's a sport, actually game. For the God, all this life and death and whatever is happening in the life, everything is a game for him. But for us, it is real, and that's why we suffer. And that's for him, it is a game sense. He enjoys it. And the other meaning of the vilasa means it is the power of Maya, which is called Vikshepa Shakti. Vikshepa Shakti is the power of projection. If you remember, one of my in the earlier I had told. So Maya has got two Shakti, Avarna Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. Avarna Shakti is what? The power of concealment. I am not able to see it. The power of covering, the power of concealment. That is Avarna Shakti. Vikshepa Shakti is the power of projection, the power of wrong perception, the power of wrong projection. So I didn't see the rope as a rope. That is a Avarna Shakti, because of the Avarna Shakti, and I mistook the rope as a snake. That is what Vikshepa Shakti. As a result, I shouted. My BP got increased. I got fear. I got sweat. And I disturbed myself, and I might disturb others also, which is called reaction. That is what Vikshepa Shakti. That Vikshepa Shakti has been referred to vilasa, which creates all the reactions. That's where, if you interestingly, you see, in the all small subtle points, actually, if you keep thinking all these things, you'll be able to understand and appreciate. In the sleep, what happens? There is an ignorance. There is a selfless ignorance, no doubt, but there is only Avarna Shakti. The self has been covered by an ignorance, no doubt, but there is no Vikshepa Shakti. There is no projection or a wrong projection. As a result, no suffering. No suffering for the individual and no suffering for others also from me. The moment I get up, either in the dream or the moment I get up, come to waking state, again mind starts projecting, Vikshepa Shakti gets activated. As a result, all the experiences, good, bad, right, wrong, happiness, unhappiness, all the experiences and reactions starts because of the Vikshepa Shakti. That is what we mean here. Vilasa means it is either sports or play of the Maya, or it is a Vikshepa Shakti of Maya is the cause for the creation. And what is this Maya? Maya at the cosmic level, it is the power of Brahman. Under the individual level, it is nothing but ignorance. So Maya Kalpita, okay, what is this Maya? Maya is nothing but a magical power of the Brahman or the Lord. Because of that, he has put the veil of ignorance on us. That's why we are thinking wrongly. So it is a power, magical power with respect to cosmic level. But when it comes to individual level, Jivatma level, it is an ignorance. So we have to remove this ignorance. And this ignorance is very difficult to remove. If you remember Bhagavad Gita shloka, Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratteya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Daivi Hesha Gunamayi. I have created this Trigunatmika Prakriti, Trigunatmika Maya. Okay, Daivi Hesha Gunam Mama Maya Duratteya. And it is very difficult to cross over. Mameva ye prapadyante, maya metam tarantite. One who surrenders at me, at my feet, I will help them to cross over. So now, what is the best way to cross over this ignorance or this, extraordinary confusion, extraordinary delusion? By taking shelter at the feet of the Lord. So that's what you are saying, saṃhāriṇē. So, oh Guru, teacher, I am taking shelter at your feet. Please remove my ignorance, because you are capable of destroying the ignorance. Because you are the Saṃhāri. So you are capable of destroying the ignorance with me. By your grace or by your teachings. Tasmai Śrī gurumūrtayē nama idaṃ Śrī dakṣiṇāmūrtayē. And you are the Saṃhāri. You are the destroyer of that ignorance. So, tasmai, to such person who is the embodied, where the Guru has taken the form, and for such Dakshinamurti, my respects, my salutations. So please bless me by removing the ignorance through your blessings or through your teachings, we can say. So this is the overall meaning of the fifth verse. And in the sixth, he takes only one, the Shunyavada, and he tries to refute. Now let us try to understand the next verse in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu. I just had thought about today to finish this and to give introduction to sixth sloka verse and explain little bit Satchitananda. Some of you had a confusions or a questions, but somehow this one verse itself took whole hour. I couldn't explain. Let us see in the next class. Yeah, if you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Pranam Maharaj. Maharaj, just a quick question. This mahāvyāmōha and the vritti, are there any connections in them?
Mahāvyāmōha and vritti. Okay. See, now vritti is what? Vritti is the functional aspect of the mind actually. Isn't it? So vritti itself doesn't have problem. The vritti, when the vritti based on the content of the vritti only the problem comes. The problem or not. For example, now you have got a vritti. Like for example, the vritti which is pertaining to God. You are trying to remember God by doing japa or by doing meditation, by doing bhajans. So while trying to do japa or while trying to do meditation, there's a vritti. And the vritti is connected to the God. So that is no problem for you. But if the same vritti is connected with some bad things, then the problem comes. So the vritti itself is neither good or nor bad. It only depends on the content. Okay. Now mahāvyāmōha. Vyamoha here is what? The ignorance. Now, whether the ignorance is also a vritti, if you take the ignorance is also a vritti, because without any vritti, we cannot get any knowledge. From that angle, if you take the mahāvyāmōha as a vritti, then you can say that, yeah, there's a problem. I hope you are clear now.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Okay, then I hope you don't have any other questions, I suppose.
Maharaj, just one point I wanted to make on the Vyamoha aspect, the confusion, the delusion, the illusion that gets created. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise for the mumukshus who are striving for elimination, who are striving for knowing who I am. And this moha, this Vyamoha is making them aware that I am delusioned. So that would be kind of a first step for the mumukshus realizing that they have been under illusion. And now that I am seeking the Lord, Dakshiṇāmurti, seeking his blessings to get me out of it. So this illusion, for that matter, is kind of a blessing in disguise for the mumukshus. What do you say?
Yeah, from that angle, yes. But if there was no Vyamoha at all,
then the person would have been already illumined. Like how Thakur had put these 4 categories of people, the Baddha, Mumukshu and Nitya, Mukta. If there was no Vyamoha, the person would have been either Nitya or Mukta.
Yes. So that's what. Now that's how you take it.
Yeah.
Now, because Vyamoha was there, that's why to get clear, I'm taking shelter, I'm trying to do japa, I'm trying to seek the Lord's company, Lord's grace. So it is what do you say? It is a chance for me. If you take from that angle, which is very positive attitude, yes. Now people may say, oh, because of this wrong thinking, erroneous thinking, all these problems, birth and death also and all, oh my dear, I should get rid of it and all. If you take that, then it can be a problem, isn't it? Because we want to get rid of this Vyamoha, as a result, then there will be no more birth and death, or rather, there will be no more wrong thinking, there will be no more erroneous perception, or rather, from the Vedantic outlook, I will be able to experience who am I. which is obstructing actually. I'm already that, whether I know it or not, whether I experience it or not, I am always that, but there's an obstruction actually. So we are doing only to remove the obstruction actually. Yeah, from that angle, it is a bane, we can say. So how do you look at it? Based on that, you can take it as a chance, you can take it as a bane also.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Mhm.